All right. Thanks for recording that, Jeremy. Come on, let's get slideshow. Oh, I have to hit got it. Slideshow from the beginning. All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Albert Clark. I'm up in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and I'm going to show you a program I've been working on for 21 years. And you'd say, well, what kind of program takes 21 years to build? Well, 21 years ago, I built the first ever electronic newsletter for agents. And similar to what the situation is today, agents are ill-equipped to do the best possible job of staying in touch. So this is an e-newsletter platform, but it's so much more than just pushing out content. It's the right kind of content at the right time of day, right day of week that we get it there. We know how to do all this stuff because we've been doing it for 20 years. So it's a newsletter platform that you can get as engaged with it as you want, or if you want to leave it as set it and forget it, that's fine. Now, when I travel all over the country, or at least in the last 2 years when I'm doing the Zooms, I'd ask agents, why can't you do the best possible job of staying in touch? And they come back and they say, Al, I have a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but I don't have a whole program. Now, I work with agents literally 12, 14 hours a day, and I know they don't have these, requisite technology skills, a content philosophy, a current database. 9 out of 10 agents that I talk to don't have a clean, dedicated database, okay? They've got data, but it's all over the place, not in one place. And they certainly don't have any predictive metrics because they're probably throwing a lot of this junk out of their Outlook, okay? Now, when it comes to junk, this is what I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to repeat this maybe 100 times. We do not deliver chicken pot pie recipes or moving day tips, okay? We're into home ownership, helping your clients, prospects, and friends get more value out of what they have now. We'll worry about them down the road when they want to sell it and buy a new one. But at that point, you're going to be such a community cheerleader. You're going to be a homeowner advocate. You're going to really care about what goes on in the home. And that's how we display you throughout these newsletters. Now, these are just some of the systems where we can go in and export contacts and clean them up, take the duplicates out, run them through spam traps, spam filters, and then we hand the agent a list, literally an Excel spreadsheet. And we say, okay, do you want to approve this or do you want to take some people out? Once they take them either out or don't take them out, we put the email addresses in our database and they become what we call exclusive. What I mean by that is email addresses can only be used once in our system. So if agent A puts in BettyJane@AOL.com today and some agent tries it tomorrow, it's not going to work. That email address has already been awarded to that first agent. So you can see a first mover advantage here, hopefully. Now, a little factoid I came up with the other day. Agents who have databases that are larger than 500 versus smaller than 500 do a much better job at sales. A couple more sides, okay? And why that is because you're in front of everybody that can sign a listing agreement with you. Every 2 weeks, these newsletters fly out, and they're full of engaging content, again, not recipes, engaging content and hyper-local content. We'll show you that in a little bit. This is just an example of the top part of one of our newsletters. This is for Jeanette and Tom. They've been with us about 2 years. And she actually spoke up on the nationwide webinar we did a couple of days ago. Over on the right, you'll see some of our, concurrent content that is trending highly. We know which articles to put in, what spots of the newsletter. There's a lot of science that goes behind this. So what we want to do is take everything that's happening in home ownership, minimize it, put it into an article, push it out, and we're going to tell you in 30 seconds when somebody clicks on these articles. Now, you may not care about back to school tips on saving your, children, helping them establish credit, okay? It's a nice article, but it's not for everybody. And because somebody read it, that doesn't mean that they're buying or selling a home, but you know that they're engaging with your content. Over on the right, if you're interested in how home prices are going, we've got a monthly report from CoreLogic, okay? We're going to help you dispel all those myths that are out there on credit reports, okay? So all of our content, we write it for you, and you could use it anywhere you want. Social media, your blog, your website, pushing it out of emails, whatever. We've got a platform for you that's going to really hold you in good stead because you're never going to run out of good content for any of your social media marketing either. We design custom graphics at the top for you. Whatever you want, we throw our Photoshop experts on there and we build something for you. Now, who's this happy couple on the left-hand side here? I don't know how they got in here, but This was the first launch of Janess and Jeremy's newsletter. And in there, we had Welcome to Home Actions. We talked about the Inflation Reduction Act from last week after it was signed, of course. Up on the top right, you probably didn't know that, DeWalt recovered 1.4 or recalled 1.4 million of these miter chop saws. Well, I had one of these in my garage. It was my brother's. I borrowed it, but I didn't know it was recalled. And I'm sure that you guys don't know that it was recalled. How did we get that in there? Well, every morning we go into the Consumer Product Safety Commission and we find out what products around the home have been recalled or otherwise dangerous. Okay. You don't have time to do that. We do all this for you, but it looks like you're doing it, right? Because it's in your newsletter. Now, on the left-hand side, if there's one thing you can learn from me today, what consumers want the most and the most often, they want to know what's sold down the street. Okay. We asked them time and time again. We see all the articles that they're clicking. Everybody wants to know what the house down the street sold for because they think their house is more valuable than that one, okay? And to the degree that you can satisfy their needs for this kind of information, I did my job. So we're going to go into RPR, Realtors Property Resource. You get it for free. And we're going to pull out some what sold reports from last night, going back 3-4 weeks. On the middle there, the newspaper, about 70% of homeowners not having an idea how much equity they have. Without even using HomeActions, you should focus on that article right there in the middle. And what I'm telling you is true. 7 out of 10 homeowning families have no idea how much equity they have in their home. They know it's good, but they don't know how good. So you want to fire up a quick CMA for them, right? Because they clicked on the newspaper 30 seconds ago. Content drives the conversation. This is what Jeremy and I talked about yesterday. The ability to use content as a conversation starter because you know what people want to read, when they want to read it, how they want to read it, what they want to download. And we do all that for you. Over on the right, wouldn't you want to talk to 15 people that are trying to find down payment money? Well, they just clicked on that article on the right-hand side there. Again, all the articles are tracked so you know what's going on. So at the end of the day, what we really do is portray you as a community cheerleader. You can do our Teacher of the Month program. We put an article in the newsletter asking parents that get your newsletter if they know a teacher that goes way beyond the norm, needs some special recognition. So all you got to do is pull out all these names and then give them, a $15 Starbucks card, recognize them. It's all about public relations. Thousands of people aren't going to fill out the Teacher of the Month form, okay? If 20 do, great. But it looks like everybody gets to see that you're trying to help teachers recover from a bad rap over the last couple of years, right? Over on the right, my favorite local businesses. Anytime you could help small businesses recover from the pandemic, you're going to score PR points. So what we ask you to do is, and there's no charge for any of this content, is over on the right-hand side there, just every 2 weeks, give us 10 small businesses. The family hardware store, the Italian deli, the beauty salon, whatever you have, we'll build a directory inside the newsletter for you, okay? And somebody's going to say, hey, this agent is different. They didn't have to do that, but they did it because you want to improve. You want to bring back Main Street. It's going to take a while, but you're part of that effort, okay? So that's why we call you a community cheerleader. Now, after an article gets opened, this is the kind of data you're going to get 30 seconds later, okay? Now, this gentleman, Brian Keller, was reading an article in the newsletter about new construction homes. Now, do you think he might be interested in new construction homes? Look what he typed. Yes, 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 yes. And he's actually thinking about buying a home, probably new construction. So you put your new construction hat on and start engaging with him in conversation. Why? Because he's telling you, he's setting the table for you right there. Okay. This is the kind of feedback you're going to be getting from your readers. Now, social media takes about 10 seconds to get your entire newsletter up there, or individual articles that are in your newsletter, or articles that are in our library. Okay, we have over 1,400 articles in our library that you can take and push to any sort of media you want. Okay, we'll show you how to do this, of course. And there's even a schedule where you can schedule your postings on social media. Now, also, we want to help you get more members, right? So in Jeanette's signature line, she has Join My Home Actions Homeowner Resource. Boom, boom, boom. As soon as somebody fills out that form, ding, you got a new member, okay? And that's somebody that's going to look forward to your newsletter. They're going to get it right now, and they're going to start getting it every 2 weeks. Okay, so we're going to put them in your database. So we always want you to increase the size of your database because we're going to nurture that for you automatically from now going forward. Okay, so how many people can raise their hand now and tell me how many web hits they had on their website yesterday? Probably none. You'd all have to go to Jeremy and say, Jeremy, can you find out how many web hits I had? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to drop people on your website from the newsletter, because we know how to link them from the newsletter to areas on your website that are probably getting 0 hits. Okay, so we're going to tell you who clicked on my website, search for homes, thinking of selling, mortgage calculator. You want to know when these people are on your website, and we're going to tell you because we know where they are. We know that they're in our newsletter and they clicked on that link. Okay, so that we can go on for hours about that one, but we're going to get more traffic to your website. Now, after your newsletter is launched, the first 3 launches, me, Albert, the president of the company, is going to call you, and we're going to go through all your metric reports and show you where the opportunities are. One thing I'd like you to realize now is that half of your readers will open your newsletter multiple times. The only way they can do that is if they save your newsletter in the subject line in their inbox. And as they go up and down Gmail or whatever they're using 500 times a day, they're going to see your name stuck in there. If you can get your name and marketing stuck in somebody's inbox, they're not going to throw it out for at least 2 or 3 weeks. And then don't worry, because in 2 weeks, another newsletter is going to come in. Okay, so what we're going to do is show you the opportunities on people that are clicking multiple times, thus probably interested in that topic. Now, we know who all your frequent flyers are. We know who opens up everything we send them. If you want to see what articles that they've been clicking over the time that they've been enrolled, just click on the blue email address, boom, boom, boom. How hard is it to add somebody into your database? Takes about 15 seconds, okay? We've got it all figured out for you because most agents don't have the time, the wherewithal to source the content, to pretty it up, to make sure it's, conforms to the spam filters and everything else. That's what we do. And we could also bring in any of your partners. Jeremy, do you guys have smart partners? Jeremy, I think you're on mute. Okay, no problem. So if your agents do have relationships with outside vendors, we could spotlight them in the newsletter also. Now, we all know why people run to Zillow for neighborhood information, right? And they probably get stuck there and won't come back to the agent's website. So what we did was we realized that you can't compete with Zillow, but we can because we're nationwide. So what we have is a widget, which is an article that's in every newsletter, and it looks something like you see on the screen there. That picture changes every 2 weeks, of course. And we're going to give your readers the ability to do a deep data dive on 155 million street addresses. There aren't any more than that in the country. So you as a realtor right now have information on every neighborhood surrounding every front door in the country. So watch how this works. So all the reader has to do is type in a name of a city, a zip code, or a street address, and we're going to suck up all this data, deliver to them right there on the screen. And we're going to tell you in 30 seconds who opened your newsletter, who wanted the report for 123 Main Street. And then all this data is going to come pouring out of here. There's community data, demographics, income levels, housing research stats, home sales transactions, what sold recently down the street. Tell me what my house is worth. If you don't even have a what is my house worth widget on your website, we've got one here for you, okay? Because this is the kind of information they're all looking for. Now, also we get into school information. Now, we don't tell them which school they're going to go to. We just tell them where the schools are. Let the parents dig into all that data over on the right-hand side. Then we have the perfect answer when they say, hey, Jim, that's a nice listing, but how's the neighborhood? What does Jim always say? Oh, it's a nice neighborhood, and then get away from it, right? Well, here's what we have. We have Yelp-inspired amenities where we can go for happy hour, fine dining, shopping, new stores in the area. Where are the Starbucks? I have to live near a Starbucks, so we know where all the Starbucks are. Where are we going to work out? Where are we going to get some donuts? Finally, everybody's got to be a pet-friendly realtor, right? Half of your clients have pets. You need to know where the Petcos are, the animal hospitals, the dog walkers. We got them all in this report. That's why they spend about 6 minutes in this report. Now, after the report gets requested, look at this data that you're going to get from us, okay? we're going to tell you, well, hi, Nicholas. So Nicholas is the realtor. Nicholas had somebody in his database, Kiki Reese, open up the Neighborhood 360 widget and do an exhaustive search on 10505 Cedarville Road. And the reason that they want this data, they're thinking about buying the house to live in. Okay, so this is a boatload of data that you get just from one email. Okay, the activity of one member. So imagine getting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of members seeing all these tools every 2 weeks. That's what it's all about, consistency. Now, I want to challenge you guys right now on the call. I want you to pick up your phone, send me a text to this number, and I will send you back a report on any address that you give me, any address in the country. Okay, 570-510-3507. And like I did yesterday on the other call, man, there were a bunch of agents just saying, you can't have it, information on every front door. Well, and again, challenge me, 570-510-3507. Okay, let's get to the next slide, and then we're going to wind down here. So at the end of the day, for what we do for you, we know what to send on your behalf, when to send it, the best time of day, best day of week, how to send it. It's got to be very thin, can't be wide, right? Because it's not going to get open and look good on mobile devices. How to lock in exclusive value. Everything I'm showing you, there's four text. Everything I'm showing you is exclusive. And what I mean by that is, once we put your email addresses in the system, nobody else can attack that email address. So we're protecting your database. We're helping you grow it. We're going to nurture it. And finally, we're going to protect it, because nobody does all four of those like we do. And this is what we call exclusive relationship capital. At this point, I would hope you don't want your clients, prospects, and friends getting this from Keller Williams, Century 21, or Coldwell Banker, okay? That's why we love dealing with the HomeSmart, okay? Because they're not the traditional realtor out there that would say, oh, Al, if I buy your program, how many houses am I going to sell next year? Well, I can't tell you that, okay? And if you need to know right now, make some number up. All I want you to really do is 2 or 3 more sides every year than you would not have done if you didn't use my program. If you do 2, that doubles, more than pays for the system, okay? But what we do is every 2 weeks, we put you in front of people that can put money in your pockets. And if you're not in front of them, as Jeremy mentioned before, real estate's all a numbers game. You could be a nice realtor, educated realtor, but you know what? If numbers don't lie. So you got to help them. You need help from somebody to improve your numbers. Now, the first thing we're going to do, if you do subscribe to work with us, is we're going to build you a brand new database. We're going to go into Gmail, your phone, the iCloud, MLS, every Yahoo, everywhere you have email addresses, or Zillow recommendations, clean them up, build your new database, start pushing out the newsletters every 2 weeks. Now, every 2 weeks, you're going to get what we call a 4-day email. And that says, hey, Jeremy, your newsletter's going out in 4 days. Do you want us to add a listing, a just sold, an open house, a testimonial? Whatever you want, we'll be your publisher, okay? Or you can do it yourself. Or you can have our customer service people do it, because we're open 7 days a week. And what we're going to do is one-on-one onboarding. We're not just throwing you a bunch of, YouTube videos, which we have about 140 of them. But what we're going to do is one-on-one onboarding. So that means you're going to deal with me, because I told Jeremy, if any of the agents there take us up on the offer, which I'll show you in a couple of seconds, rest assured this thing is going to work for you, because the last thing I need you to do is go back to Jeremy and Freddie and say, hey, Albert ripped this off. Well, we wouldn't be on this call. Okay. Now, there's 2 ways to subscribe to the program. Jeremy and Freddie took care of this $99 setup fee that everybody else pays. So that's taken off the table. We're asking you, I'm going to have to move my slide here so I can see this thing. We're asking you guys to pay $65 a month, month to month, no contracts, cancel at any time, for any reason, get all your money back, get all your contacts back, right? We don't own your database, you do. So that's what we call the monthly plan. Most agents join on this one because they say, hey, I'll try it out for a month, because at the end of the first month, if you don't like what we did with the first 2 newsletters, walk away. We don't deserve to keep your money, right? Because we promised you something that we know works. It just didn't work for your position. So what we'll do is we'll clean that up. So we took it from 79 down to 69 down to 65. And then we have the quarterly plan, which is a different kind of payment plan, same level of service, no setup fee on the quarterly plan, and every 3 months, 160. Okay, so 160 times 4 is 640 for the year versus 680 for the plan up top. So you save $20 over the monthly plan. Any plan you could sign up for, you can move from A to B anytime you want. You cancel it. That's why there's no contract. You just walk away. We will not bill your credit card again if you don't want us to. Okay. So again, monthly plan, about 80% of the agents that in HomeSmart that subscribe with us go with that one. Cash flow wise, it's a little bit better because you're paying 65 versus 160 up front. Okay. So let's have some questions about either how these payment plans work, or any questions on the database, any questions on how we're going to help you build a new database, and what the newsletters look like or how they function. So Jeremy, can you open up to some questions, please?
Yeah, I personally think this is really great pricing, Albert. I think we need to renegotiate the price I got, but I'm just kidding.
Well, hold on a second. Maybe how many do you have on the call here? 12?
What was that? Say again?
How many are on the call here? I see 12, right?
Yeah.
All right. 10. What I can do is, and I gave you some leeway on that $99. You already won that battle, but that's okay. I don't want to lose twice. What I can do is, if we can get 5 agents to sign up today, or to say they will, or they're interested, we'll take that 65 down to 55, saving you $10 more per month times 12 months. That's another $120 you're saving. So you'd be saving more than 350 bucks at least, just me on the fast math here, by going with the monthly plan or the quarterly plan. You're still saving a lot of money. The quarterly plan we could take down to 150 every 3 months as opposed to 160. So that saves you $40 more. But the big bang is up in the monthly payment plan. So you'd pay 55 per month if we can get 5 guys out of our 13 here to say they'd like the program. Let's talk about it. I'm interested. Now, all you have to do to say that you're interested is go up into the chat box. And Jeremy, you're able to see the chat box, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Scott says he's in. Thank you, Scott. I'll give you a call back in a little while as soon as we're over here. So we got a couple minutes for questions if anybody wants to open it up to Q&A. So again, we're taking that 65 back down to 55 because of your great negotiator there, the guy with no hair.
That's right. It all fell off in the negotiation.
Next time I'm going to win though. Okay, Jeremy?
Hey, you guys, please reach, like now is your time. Ask Al, he's here. He's ready to answer any questions you might have. Please feel free to chime in right now. Ask any questions that you might have. If you're not doing this, then why not? Right?
It's guaranteed to work. But what I'm telling you is, you're not going to sell 5 more houses next week because you buy this. But you guys are seasoned enough to know this is the kind of stay in touch you can do to help you earn those referrals and the new business down the road. Okay, Brenda Lark, you're interested? Okay, we'll give you a call right after this. Thank you. Any questions about the process? Generally, this is a set it and forget it. Anybody else can, you can get as engaged with it as you want. And that's where you'll score the points, is by working with us, bringing in your personal stuff. Okay. Whether it be an RPR report or where the firemen picnics for the rest of the summer, any local stuff like that. Of course, your open houses. Okay. And any other systems you're using, any testimonial systems. Jeremy, what CRM are they using?
Well, everybody has the option to use their own. HomeSmart does have their own CRM, but KB is offered at $45 a month.
Okay, if you're using those CRMs, we're able to take content and synchronize it. All your HomeActions contacts will be in your CRM. All your CRM contacts will be in your HomeActions. Okay, very cool to have a unified database like that, because we're going to find more people for your HomeActions than you have in your CRM. Okay, unless you've been using it for years and you have 1,000 in there or something. But we're going to be able to find you all those. Everybody that ever emailed you in Gmail or you have ever emailed is a contact. Hey, we're going to get them out. We're going to get them nurtured. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Question, please.
Yeah. Question. So I already know the answer to this because you already did it for me. Said, will you be filtering out the bad emails since you will will be taking our contacts.
Yes, I will filter out the bad ones. We're going to check the good ones and verify that they're good. And then we're going to hand you an Excel spreadsheet or put it in your dashboard, and you'll be able to see all the bad email addresses. And you might want to fix those email addresses, but you can leave them in there. But we're also going to show you an unsubscribe rate. We're also going to show you who reported you as spam. That's going to be a very low number. For your unsubscribes, expect about 4.5% to 5% to unsubscribe. A regular real estate newsletter, about 9 or 10% over the year will unsubscribe.
And Brenda,
Why do they unsubscribe less with ours? You know the answer. It's good content. We actually help people get more value out of their home. That's what we do.
Yeah.
We're not constantly talking about interest rates and buy now, why rates are low. Buy now, you're going to lose money. Buy. We don't get into that. We get into, hey, did you know that you've got a dangerous, item in your house? Do you know that your senior citizens are getting nailed on all these IRS tax scams? That's what we do, is we protect you, and we show you how you're protected homeowners. So yeah, we will be filtering out bad emails, and you'll be able to, at any given time, 10% of your list is bad. You don't know which 10% right now until we check them all out for you. So yeah, we'll do that. Next question, please. We'll
Brenda,
be
you had
taking
a
your
question?
contacts. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right.
Oh.
Brenda, you had a question?
Oh, yes. So Jeremy, you use this, correct?
I just signed up for it. Al didn't even mean to pitch me. He was just telling us about his program and his work and everything like that. And I loved his experience, that he's been doing this for so long. And, I have a Buffini kind of newsletter that goes out. It's just, in my opinion, a little too generic, right? I don't get a lot of engagement from it. I do get a lot of unsubscribe, as Al was talking about before. And when he was just telling us about it for like 5 minutes, he didn't even go into the depth and detail that he went through here. And I was like, yep, I'm all in. I'll sign up and, pay for this right away, because I believe in it. And, it's just about, again, staying top of mind, right? And they say, if you don't stay in touch with your database every 21 days, they forget your name.
Jeremy,
Right.
listen to this fact I just found the other day. 2 years NAR did it, stop the guy on the street, and 2 years after a transaction, only 23% of consumers that used you 2 years ago for a deal can quickly remember your name.
Absolutely.
That means 77% can't come up with your name. Now, I don't know how agents get out of bed in the morning knowing that 75% of their business down the road they're going to lose because somebody else is going to grab that. Okay, somebody else is trying to build that brand name awareness.
Absolutely.
And we want that to be you, okay? Not the Keller Williams guy down the street.
Brenda, did
so-
you have another question?
Say that again, please.
I was just wondering how, I know we kind of briefly touched on it, but how is this different than KV Core that we currently have? Or
KV Core is a
currently-
CRM, okay, that will tell you, Betty Jane has been on your website searching these types of homes. Today's her birthday. We don't compete with KV Core. Now, KV Core has they call it a newsletter, but they also call it a blast. And it's just generic home ownership stuff to get people to buy a house. Well, not everybody that is eager right now to buy a house. When they're ready, I'm certainly going to portray you in the best light. But don't compare us with KV Core. Now, all the contacts you have in KV Core, we can put in HomeActions, all the HomeActions contacts, put them in the KV Core. Okay, so we are not a CRM, but a strategic communications platform. That's what we are.
Gotcha. Okay.
I hope I answered your, what was your name, ma'am?
Brenda.
Oh, Brenda,
Mark,
okay.
You're going to call me after this. And I just wanted to,
And we're going to get
Also
your
see
data.
if-
We're going to get your data. Oh, no, Scott, we'll get Scott's database in first, Scott, because that might be one of your reasons why you're joining so quickly, is that you want to get your database built in and protected. And that's what we'll do.
yeah.
And
I was
Brenda, you'll be
wondering if-
second.
I was wondering if you could work a little bit more on the price. I know you said 55, but KV Core is even less than that.
Well, that's because you guys, your HomeSmart bought the price down, so it could be more affordable for you guys.
Okay.
I can't compete against that. HomeSmart's not going to give me any money to sell newsletters. They should. I would love it. A great idea, right? Because they sell more houses at the end of the day if you do. I'll talk to you later on, Brendan. And anytime, in any deal I give any other agent, everybody else is gonna get the same deal.
Okay, thank
And
you.
Brenda,
Okay,
what
so I'll
I-
give you a call back. Next question, please.
And Brenda, what I will say to that is KV Core is the platform. It's a car, right? You still got to put gas in. You still got to spend time on it and everything like that to get it to operate properly. This is completely done for you. CRM, database touching. I mean, I would say just check it out. Like sign up for the monthly and just check it out. And you know, if in a couple of months, I mean, that's what I love about it too. There's no monthly contracts, so you're not locked into anything, right? So I paid for the first quarter right away. I'm just like, yeah, let's do 3 months and let's see where it goes from there. And I'm already, I mean, just one email has blasted out and it's been great engagement. I would say, I don't remember exactly how many people opened it up, but I was surprised by how many people actually opened it up.
Okay, great.
Okay, next question, please. Jeremy, thanks for that commentary.
Is there any data shared that you take or like? Or
No,
you?
sir. We only nurture your database. We don't own it. We don't do anything with it. Okay, and I don't know what we would do with it anyway. Sell email addresses from homeowners. So no, you rest assured that once your database is in, it's protected, and they're never going to get anything from us other than your newsletter. Okay, I mean, I have people coming, you know, Allstate Insurance is after me every 2 or 3 months. They'd love to have an ad on this, right? Lots of
Right.
organizations that have talked to us came to us and we said, wait a minute, these homeowners, they're not our clients. They're not our customers. Go to the realtor, right? So that's something that we hold, you know, we hold very firm in our process here is protecting the database. Make sure that nobody else sees it and we don't use it for anything else. Good question, though. Thanks.
Great question, Tom.
Thanks.
I have a
Please.
question. Some of us work in more than one state. So if, I know you're talking about doing websites and things like that. So how would you handle that if you like working in, say,
Well, the image at the top of the newsletter, let me show you, we could design the newsletter to have it say you're licensed in Florida and Alabama, or wherever you are. And we could put your license numbers on there. And when they go and they engage with our widgets, they're going to tell the system where they are now. So you don't have to put a market report up on every market, every zip code in 2 states. No, they're going to say, I want to learn what's going on at 123 Main Street in Tuscaloosa, and that's your territory. So that's the, you know, we're going to track all that inside the newsletter. So you can work in 10 states if you want. And I think by law, you got to put your license numbers on all those. We'll do that for you. Okay, so you don't have to have all your clients in one zip code. They could be anywhere in the country. Our widgets work because remember that 155 million. There aren't any more than that.
800?
Go ahead. Any other questions? Okay, we'll give you one more shot at that phone number for the report. Where'd it go? There you are, 510-3507. Hit me with a text, give me an address, any address. And this is pretty cool stuff. You could put this on your website if you want, or your blog, or your social media. Some say it's the most powerful widget they've seen in real estate marketing. Because at the end of the day, people just want to know how the neighborhood is. And you don't have time to track all that stuff. So that's why you give them the tools to look at any house, it doesn't have to be a listing, could be grandma's house in Kansas City. Doesn't make a difference. Okay, but we know what's going on outside of that door and 3-4 miles away. Next question, please. Jeremy, you got anything else?
No, sir, you've answered all my questions.
All right, anybody? So Brenda, I'll be giving you a call now, and Scott, anybody else interested? We're trying to get 5 so we can get that
Yeah.
price down to $55. Anybody want to put their name?
Tom,
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll do it.
Oh, Tom, okay. All right, that's 3. We got anybody interested? Maybe want to just try it out for 1 month? Because we're going to save everybody a lot of money if we can do that. Then let's go to 4 then, which means I need 1 more.
Jennifer
Should be
raised her
an-
hand. Jennifer, you
I
got a
should be an
question?
auctioneer, right? Anybody raise their hand? I need 1 more.
Yep, I'm in.
Who's that?
This is Jennifer.
For Michelli.
Jennifer, all right. Well, you just saved everybody a lot of money, Jennifer.
Woo-hoo.
1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 confirmed. All right, I'm gonna call everybody. We're gonna get this thing going. We can start building your database later on this afternoon or first thing tomorrow. But it will get done in, 24 hours. All you need to do is answer my phone when I call you. So we need about 15 minutes, and we're gonna go into Gmail, your iPhone, MLS, everywhere you think you have contacts, export them, clean them up, get them nurtured, get them protected. That's the process. All right, if anybody doesn't have any more questions, we can shut this down. Jeremy, you want to just turn my screen share off and you could resume anything else you have? All right, so I'm going to close that box. Stop sharing. Okay, Jeremy, back to you.
All right, thanks again, Al. We appreciate all your knowledge and all your information. Anybody who has questions, please feel free to reach out to me or Al. Al, do you mind putting your contact information in the chat real quick?
Oh, yeah, okay, I'm sorry. Let me get that.
I should have asked you to do that in the beginning.
Okay, everyone, okay. Albert. 570-510-3507. A Clark at HomeActions.net.
And remember, we got that that game this weekend in Clearwater. I'm going to send you all the details after this meeting, so you have it all. Same kind of thing. RSVP, sign up. Let us know that you're going to be there. Okay.
All right, I'm checking out, Jamie. Thanks, guys. I'll be calling you soon. All right, thanks, Scott. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Have a great day. Go sell some homes.
All right.
So.